The Trump campaign is on track for a larger than expected fundraiser in Palm Beach this weekend. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election, because everyone, despite every rumor, conspiracy, whatever you've heard about the Trump campaign about being out of money and not being able to fundraise, well, that's going to be debunked this weekend, as the Trump campaign's on track for a record $43 million fundraiser in Palm Beach, Florida. Now, before I continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, I did make a video on the same subject just a couple days ago, and that was when it was reported that Trump was going to raise $33 million, and everyone immediately said, that's fake news, that's not going to happen, and there is the possibility that, well, maybe these estimates are wrong. Well, according to the Trump campaign, he's now on track for $43 million. Yes, it's an estimate, but even if he only cracks $30 million, that is more than Biden raised in his fundraiser, and everyone called it a record-breaking event. It broke every fundraising record. So let's get into it, because this is a big deal that the Trump campaign appears to be on pace for nearly $20 million more dollars raised in one night than the Biden campaign did. Former President Trump is on track to raise $43 million at a fundraiser in Palm Beach on Saturday, in what many billionaire Republican donors are considering the kickoff of the general election, sources tell Axios. That haul would eclipse the $26 million raised by Biden last week at a celebrity-studded Radio City Music Hall event, which was billed as the largest fundraiser in political history. And remember, they had to bring out people like Lizzo. They had to bring out every celebrity known to man, and two former presidents. And they raised $26 million, which, again, that's impressive. That's quite a bit of money. But the problem is, the media talked about how that's a record-breaking event, and it was. But the Trump campaign is about to raise around $43 million. Let's just say they undershot their goal, and they raised $40 million. All right, $40 million instead of $43 million. Who frickin' cares? Even if it's $35 million, it's way more than the Biden campaign rose. It's a fact. And the Biden campaign had to bring out Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Lizzo, everyone, just for people to show up. Trump doesn't have that same advantage. The only living Republican president is Bush. You think he likes Trump? No. Biden has the luxury of still having Obama around, and even Clinton. Trump's inaugural leadership dinner, led by hedge fund billionaire John Paulson, tops out at a chairman level of $824,000, which includes dinner seating at President Trump's table. Now, there are contribution limits in place. It's like $5,000 for the average PAC, like Trump's main campaign committee. But, and this is why it was so big to declare Trump the nominee months ago. Before Trump was the presumptive nominee, he couldn't fundraise at the same level as Biden. Because there are some loopholes where you can work with the party and you can have these huge committees that can raise way more money. Yes, not all of that money can go towards your campaign, but a sizable chunk still can. And that was the problem. Nikki Haley staying in the race forced the RNC and the Trump campaign not to donate or fundraise with these people. The event will feature former First Lady Melania Trump and three of Trump's former primary opponents, Senator Tim Scott, Vivek Ramaswamy, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. A source familiar with the event planning tells Axios, this event is greatly exceeding expectations and shows the Republican Party's united behind President Trump. Does this sound like, oh, it's fake news and it's being pushed by MAGA? Which, again, it is a source from the event, but how can you go up from $33 million, which is a record-breaking event in its own right, goes up to 43 million in a week. And you cannot tell me that's just them overstating their goal. That's a sign a lot of people are going to show up to this event and they're going to give Trump and the RNC a lot of money. Sources tell us the eye-popping total was achieved with personal phone calls by Trump, peer-to-peer asks, in this case some literal billionaire-to-billionaire conversations, and a persuasive desk about the electoral outlook by campaign co-manager Susie Wiles. And that's Trump's biggest advantage. He's a businessman. He understands how to talk to these people like, hey, invest in my campaign. This is the biggest election in history. He's obviously a salesman. A source involved in Biden's campaign fundraising operation was skeptical of the total being touted for Saturday's event, saying that getting everyone to max out in April is not a sustainable way to fund a campaign. And that's the new cope. So, the Biden campaign does basically the same thing. Like, yeah, they had lower tiers, but they still had this idea of, well, these people will max out now. But the whole point is to stop these rumors going around about, well, the Trump campaign can't fundraise and they have no money left, which, by the way, was debunked in last month. When the Trump campaign took over the RNC, they raised, and the Trump campaign also, raised a total of $66 million. So the fundraising stuff, that's becoming a less of a problem. But this big fundraiser is going to also help statewide parties. And they don't talk about this, by the way. They make it sound like it's all going towards Trump legal fees. It can't. I think it's like only $5,000 can go towards the PAC spending on Trump's legal stuff. So that's nothing. It's going to be maybe a couple million at most, like best case scenario. But even then, it's like 90% of the money is going towards the RNC. It's going towards other statewide parties, which is huge because we all know there's many statewide parties going broke. Look at the Michigan GOP. They can't raise any money. It's gotten better since new leadership took over, but they're still broke because of what Christina Caramo spent the money on. You have other statewide parties like Minnesota doing God knows what. State parties like Pennsylvania. So this money is not just going towards the Trump campaign. Part of it is, but the vast majority is going to the Republican Party. And now they're coping and saying, well, it's not sustainable. It's not. But last month showed the Republican Party and the Trump campaign are starting to get fundraising going. They raised $65.6 million, which they are going to almost break in a single night. Yeah, $20 million short, but the Biden campaign's fundraiser was hailed as the greatest fundraising operation in history. Which, yeah, that's true, but the problem is, you had two former presidents, you had a bunch of celebrities all pull up, while Trump is doing this effectively by himself. And this was the one advantage Biden had going into this year. He had a huge fundraising advantage because, yeah, the incumbent has a cash advantage. That's the circumstance in nearly 99% of races. That's going to be the case where, hey, you're the incumbent, you're able to fundraise every single day when you're in office. That's why every president usually has a big fundraising advantage. But even then, Biden has spent a lot of money in ads the past couple of weeks. And that's with Trump not responding. And even after all of that, Trump is still leading in most national polling. And even statewide polling, he's up, or at least tied. The Trump campaign's beating Biden despite spending nothing compared to him. Now they got money? More than they had before. The Democrats are just coping about it because they realize this huge fundraising advantage that they inflate every single quarter because of including 15 other committees is gone. In one night, most of this advantage Democrats had will be gone. Now, is this sustainable? No. Just like the Democrat fundraiser with Obama, Clinton, and all that, it's a one-time deal. But it's a good sign they're able to raise way more money than the Democrat Party. And they touted that as the greatest thing the Democrats have ever done. While Trump's going to do nearly double. So either way, let's see if this actually does reach the 43 million they're claiming it will. I have some questions about that because that means a lot of people are showing up to this event and giving $800,000. Will that happen? I guess it's possible. But this is the Trump campaign. They might exaggerate a little bit, but who knows? Maybe they raise way more than expected. Because it sounds like Trump is making this his big fundraiser. He's talking with billionaires. I hope it's a case. I hope he raises like 60 million. Because that would mean in one night, the Trump campaign would have raised nearly triple what Biden's campaign did in the same night. But either way, let's just hope the Trump campaign doesn't use all that fundraising magic on one night. Let's hope that they have a big small donor operation planned for this year. And I think they do. I mean, Trump is usually one of the best fundraisers out there when it comes to small donors. So he should be fine. But I would not like this to become, a daily occurrence where, he's hosting a huge fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. Because when you do so much of that, A, you're going to tap out your big donors eventually. And B, there's just not enough of them. While small donors, yeah, they're not going to give as much, but if there's 50 million Trump supporters that donate, let's just say 50 million, and they each give $1 a month. And again, there's going to be way more, but you get the point. That's $50 million a month just from small donors if they donate just $1. That's why the RNC and the Trump campaign has to capitalize on small donors this cycle. They got to if they want to beat Biden and make sure they don't get outspent 50-1 like many Republicans in prior years. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.